Hey there, guys. Hey there. Um, just gonna go on a small rant real quick. This is not gonna be a long live stream, but this is just so I can record it, like, as is. I have made a few songs that I did not live stream, but here's why I choose to live stream a lot of my music. I'll show you in a few seconds exactly why I live stream a lot of my music. And we're going to my channel to see this. I'm not gonna play this, obviously, but I am gonna go to my channel so we can see this, so you guys can see what I deal with. No, thank you. I said no. I'm not gonna play it. Prick, stop. Okay, let me go to my YouTube studio real quick, and I want to show you guys something that you deal with. Now, this is not necessarily all of YouTube's fault, but like I've said in past iterations of rants like this, it would be nice if the systems put in place were updated to content that was made available to millions in making music. So here's what I mean by that. We're gonna go to content real quick, and you're gonna see that I have a song that has, at the moment, a copyright restriction. Now, I made this song. I, of course, have all the data that shows what I made it with and how it was made, right? But YouTube, because the studio that I use also provides those same instruments to other people and those same content to other people at any given time, can offer that same content to other people under a, license. It's actually a license that is general use license, which is basically open content. It's not something that you have to pay for. It's not a license you have to acquire through legal means. In fact, it's the fact that I've acquired the music that I have, that I'm paying for studio, is really, I'm just paying for allocation of all of those instrument packs and all of those loops that are there. I'm paying for the allocation of them being put in one place. I'm not exactly paying for the, and I'm not going to even really use air quotes. I'm going to literally say content that is given to people for free. Really, when you pay for like a studio like Soundtrap, you're paying for the allocation of all those areas all those being found in one place. Now, my song clearly was made by me. It was clearly made by me. It says what studio I was using to make it. But you go to the copyright and you see details. Now, I did file a dispute with this. It's not affected. There's really no reason for me to file a dispute, but I did. Why? Because if I ever should choose to monetize my items, which I don't monetize at the moment, they can try to take money using this part. Apparently, this is the song that they're saying is in use. The problem with this is the part that they're saying is in use isn't a common. It is an accumulation of like 4 different loop packs. And now this is very possible that he could have made this same combination inside of his music. The problem is all of these loop packs, all of them, cannot be licensed as they are used under the means of public domain. Now, when you have public domain loop packs that you're paying a studio to allocate, they should literally look at all these studios, look at all these loop packs and all this. Like, the Content ID system should have some sort of AI bot that can run around and gather information on these content IDs. And they should be able to gather on information on whether or not it's labeled for general use or labeled for like no copyright, like public access, right? And then they should have a list of that checks everything off, right? Like, look, if we flag any of these, even in combination with each other, any of these items we can't flag because these are already marked on a list somewhere, and it bypasses a flag for those items. Now, the part of the music that they're saying that I'm using, it's clearly copyright trolling. I don't use the same system that this guy does. The chances are, though, we do use the same studio. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at who does this. No, that's not what I was trying to do. I wish they would give you the ability to look at the actual video that they're actually accusing you of using music from, so I could compare and contrast the content. That would be really nice. They used to do that, but they have since not, because there are 0 videos. So clearly this is a copyright troll. Now it's going to be disputed. Of course it's going to be disputed, because it has to be disputed. But this is what happens when you don't live stream the creation of your music. When you don't live stream the creation of your music, you have no thing to fall back on when someone tries to copyright it. And I think it's funny because copyright trolls come to me every so often because I'll make something good. And they're like, oh, fuck, we're scared. We're fucking terrified. I'm sorry. But if you're copyright trolling someone, you're admiring my music. You're not hurting me. You're admiring my music and letting me know I'm doing something right here, and I need to do more of that. Whatever style that is, the flow that it has, I need to do more of that, because that's what's going to destroy you. And most of the time, copyright trolls are people who are struggling to make music themselves, but they're pissed because they see something they really, really wish they had done, and they don't, they didn't bother to do it. And sometimes copyright trolls are just like, here's a no-name, I'll just fuck with him. That happens. Because I'm not going to say that I have some fucking hold on the market. I don't make enough views for that. I don't have enough subs, But this does occasionally happen. So, like I said, just to clear up any dispute, the part that he gathered, I can show you what was used to make it. I've got my studio right here. I can go into the studio. This was literally owns this project. It says my name. Zonexia owns this project. This is my profile right here. Right here. I own the project. I own the fucking project. I own the fucking project. I own the fucking project, okay? I own it, right? So, here's the thing, right? I can go into the studio and I can show you guys exactly what was used to make it. And you guys can see, clear as day, that obviously, and of course we ran into a slight problem. This has been happening on Soundtrap for a while. I'm not sure what that is, but it's not having to do with the current clamps. I don't worry about it. It's more than likely a low memory on my browser or something, because there are times where I'll make music and my whole computer, because it's not exactly a computer built for this, fucking just goes haywire. It definitely does on my phone. This studio does use up a lot of heavy instances of RAM. But let's go ahead and play the song. I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself so you guys can kind of take a look at everything that was used to make this song, and people will understand, oh, he's not stealing his content. But there are occasionally people who say, oh, he steals content because there's so many copyright flags. Some of my copyright flags are legit. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them are, but there's obvious legitimacy. It's music that you've heard on the radio that I didn't make, and I clearly, don't own the rights to. But a lot of the stuff that I say I make, I have proof. I have evidence. Okay? I have proof. I have evidence. If I go to my actual profile, these are all songs that I either helped co-produce. This is my son's song that he made. This is something he was working on. I didn't really name it yet, so it just kind of labeled it as Zonexia's song. That's an auto name. That's not my song. That is something my son was working on. It's a work in progress. But yeah, a lot of these I made. This was something I was experimenting with. I don't think that it was ever created. But yeah, if you go to all of these are all songs I made using the studio. Okay? All of them. There's over 190 songs in my catalog. They were all made, a lot of them were made using the studio. A few of them were made using Music Mixer, Music Maker or something, Music Maker Pro or something like that. But yeah, I've made a lot of music. If you go down my catalog, there is a lot here, and I can go to the studio and show you guys each and every instance where I've made it. Now, some of these songs I made on live stream. This is my girlfriend's son's song. He made this. That's why it's labeled with his name on it. And he made it using my studio account subscription, because I was like, you want to see how it's done? He's like, yeah, okay. So he made this. It's a little 1-minute thing. Other than that, all of these I made. All of these. If it doesn't have anyone's name on it, Like, this is Aiden's. This is also his. My girlfriend's son's project. He also made this. But if it doesn't have someone else's name on it, it's mine. I made it. And I don't take credit for stuff that wasn't made by me. If someone makes it, I put their name on it. You know, label it as a project or put their name on it. And I don't take credit for anything that, you know, isn't mine. But I made this, I made this, I made this. I mean, this one says it's a live stream build because it was literally a live stream build. It was like 12-minute song. This is just the whole fucking catalog was made either co-produced or made by me. The whole catalog. Even the stuff where Megan's son, he made some of the music, and I would help him, like, arrange. That was it. So it was co-produced, but not mine. I don't take credit for what I didn't do. But all of this that you're seeing on screen right now, this was all me. This was me and a friend of mine who came over to the house, so I just named it that. It's his name. This right here, all of this made by me. All of it. It's not all. My music isn't the greatest. It's not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people have likened my music to, like, video game music. So let's just clear that up. But when I do apparently stumble on something, someone copyrights it. Someone tries to copyright flag, and that lets me know that I'm doing really good, and I need to stick with that, because that's going to get a lot of, like, traction, apparently. Because if you're running past my song and you're copyrighting it, then that means the algorithm bumped me up with that song because people were starting to listen to it. So that's letting me know that I'm on the right path. I mean, now you could say, well, I guess we're going to do it now. Positive. Please don't. It's annoying, but I'm letting you know that it's also not going to hurt me in the long run, especially when you're false flagging. Because as you guys saw, I highlighted the actual item that was supposedly copyrighted, and apparently they found for infringement. I copyrighted. I found looked for the song title, right? And yeah, like, I looked for the song title for this. The sad thing is, okay, it's made by Street, but it doesn't say who the song is made by either. You notice that? No, I'm not going to replace or wipe out the song. It says God willing, right? The content used is God willing, which is obviously, like, I want to say that copyright dispute seems like it's Islamic. They just didn't name it Inshallah. So yeah, it probably is from an Islamic world, or Islamic, like, the Islamic, like, Eastern world, or maybe it's like a person who's Islamic. But yeah, basically, God willing, they decided to copyright that. Now, I copied this, and we searched it, and we're going to search it under the actual YouTube studio to see if we can, instead of studio, we're going to search it under actual YouTube. So we're going to go here. Please forgive the, and we're going to search it here and see if we get anything, but we didn't get anything under studio, so that's probably because we were in studio, though. And I wonder who else it said it was by. Who else did it say it was by? I have a screenshot of what I was able to get on my phone, because when I disputed the claim, which I obviously did, you have to, I also wanted to know who it was made by. It says MC dash, so let's type in MC dash RHEMA RHMEA. Now, the messed up thing is, like, there it is. Okay, so here's spoken word, God willing, the special version. This guy apparently is, okay, so this does exist.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus.
Provided by
And this is your
Destro
brain
Kid,
when you're in the
Rhymes
zone.
Records.
But getting in the zone and staying there, that feels more like luck than...
Oh yeah, he used Soundtrap. He didn't show it that he used Soundtrap, but he used Soundtrap. His comments are turned off because he knows the system's gonna fall flat. He knows people are gonna come after him for it, so they turn the comments off.
Guess who's back? Starting on a whole new track, but don't lose track. Starting fresh.
So now he could actually copyright this video, but I'm explaining to you guys. So this is transformative. I'm explaining to you guys who this is and what this was. But yeah, okay. So he used the piano, and he used. However, if you go to my video, I guarantee you there's going to be some differences. Because I'd never heard that song before. I didn't even know if it actually existed. Yeah, he used one loop. He used one loop. So now we're going to go back to Soundtrap. We're going to show exactly what that loop was that he used. This is something you have to deal with on YouTube. This is something you have to deal with on YouTube. So apparently he has some legitimate claim to it. However, the claim he's making, it's not the content that he's using and we are both using cannot be copyright infringement because you can't put a license on the copyright piece itself, and he clearly used that one piece. So let's go back to mine. Let's see. I added hi-hats. He does not have hi-hats in his. But let's show you guys where the copyright came into play. I'm trying to explain this to you guys so you guys don't run into the same problems. Because I have only one part in this song, and I usually don't do this. I usually don't put one part for this specific reason, because artists do get somewhat lazy, and I got lazy with this song. This was just me fucking around. But this is the song starter. This is what he copyright claimed. The Neighborhood Mercy song started, which, if we go to this and we click on it, we'll see who owns it. Actually, let's actually go to that. Let's just click on that and show you guys that it's not my own loop, and I didn't use his loop either. It's not something from him. I didn't download it and put it on their studio. This was on their studio already because it's considered a part of a sound pack that they released. So, go to Neighborhood. I spelled that all wrong. Bear with me. It's Neigh. There we go. Okay, so what is this title? Mercy Song Starter. Marcy Song Starter. So we're going to go to Marcy. We're going to go to Song Starter. Then, I'm not stealing from dudes. He just happens to use the same sound loop that I'm using. So, like I said, this happens. So if you're using Soundtrap, if you're using your Soundtrap and you're porting to YouTube, which is what I do, try to not use an individual loop. Try to instead mix it with something else. So what I can do is I can actually delete that video, but I can make one small alteration so that the content ID system doesn't get all pissy, okay? And I can actually make the song better than this by doing this. So check this out. We're going to add a new track. Actually, not script. We're already there. Let's go ahead and add some bass. We can add 3 instruments to this, and that'll change the entire song a little bit, but not enough to actually cause issues. Let's do that. Let's see what that sounds like. several others. That's what happens. Usually when a copyright infringement happens, it's usually not even the artist's fault. Like, I mean, he might have known, which is why comments are disabled, but the chances are it's not even him managing this account. Chances are he has access to the account, but he's not managing it. And what I mean by that, and what I'm going to show you by that, let's go to my history real quick. Can I go to closed? Closed? Probably not. So, we're going to go to my history real quick. And I'll show you what I just did that again, didn't I? I'm an idiot. The history, and go back to his song. Now, he could copyright this, but I will do an edited version, obviously. This is considered transformative. But what
Adventures
I mean by...
Log, Day 13.
What I mean by he's probably not really using this is notice how it's provided by DestroKid. Now, I've gotten into issues with DestroKid before. I've had issues where DestroKid's like, hey, yo, we got this under copyright. And I've had disputes with people who use DestroKid who didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. If you use DestroKid, DestroKid will actually copyright for you. They'll hit copyright strikes on they have their own bot system, okay? So it's not even really on YouTube's fault, but when you file the dispute through YouTube, it has to go to someone at one point or another. If DestroKid automatically denies these claims, then, it's dicey, but then you have really no options. There's no options available to you. That's why I said certain content ID systems need to be updated frequently with all of the current packs that are out there to see if those packs are actually whatever, right? To see if they're free or not. This kid was clearly using a free pack. I just showed you the pack he was using. And even if this video right here, because I was using that pack, gets copyrighted, it's transformative, it's explanatory, and not only that, it's supposed to be educational and meant for educational purposes, which means under the GLU license, it's still non-copyrightable. But even if he said all that, right, and he keep in mind he's most likely not the one doing it. This is DestroKid doing it. I've gotten into disputes with people about DestroKid, and they're like, "Oh, well, they can't copyright shit unless you're using it." I'm like, that's bullshit. They can copyright any content that is shared with any of their user base, even if the person, if they have a guy who is using them, who happens to be using a free sound pack, anyone else who uses a sound pack, DestroKid ownership or not, DestroKid will copyright it simply for the sound alone, which is a problem I've had with DestroKid before. It's not exactly because of the fault of the artists in general. These things happen. There's clear examples of things where there wasn't exactly copyrights done. But these things do happen. Because especially when you have free use packs out there, it happens a lot. A lot more than you would expect. And a lot of people don't understand why it happens. It's because DestroKid is effectively not a person. It's a bot that you're paying to put your music up in the algorithms, to put your music out there. You're paying a bot. And there are certain people who would defend the fuck out of DestroKid for this. And I'm like, you're defending a bot. You're defending something that's not even real. You're defending a non-person as if you're loyal to it. Congratulations. We get it. You worship the new, robotic overlords and whatever. I've had issues with specific people about this. And I've explained to them in great detail this happens more frequently than they would care to admit. And they decided instead they were going to fucking launch harassment campaigns against me. I thought it was fucking hilarious. But then, over time, those people show their true colors, and they did show their true colors, and I was able to expose them for what that was. So ultimately, they lost that battle against me. Like so many others lose the battle against me. Why? Because you can't dispute fact. It's always provided by an explainable, tangible evidence. You can't dispute it. Facts are not like something that, there's a report here. It's not, we're not looking at peer reports. I'm showing you as things are happening, what's going on. All right. But what I'm going to end up doing is because he did use that single pack, and because I don't even really have to, I am going to probably delete my song. And that's not really me admitting defeat. But ultimately, if he's using the same pack, this kid looks like he needs, honestly, he needs the fish. Look at him. He don't look that happy right now. And he's doing rap. I mean, I'm not saying that rap is bad or anything like that, but the kid clearly needs an outlet. He needs a fence. I'm going to go ahead and concede this one. I'm going to withdraw my complaint. I'm going to re-edit it because honestly, yeah, using one pack for me, I feel that was lazy as fuck. And I don't want to be that guy. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be. What he's doing is a totally different genre of music. I'm doing strictly EDM and instrumental shit. I should be willing to do more than he's having to do. He just wants a beat to put into the back of a rap song, okay? We're going to give him it. Fuck it. I'm going to be morally good right now and just do it. Just do the right thing, right? I don't even have to because, like I said, the items are not covered under copyright infringement. They're not. It's free. Now that it's in dispute, I'm going to withdraw my dispute if I can, if it'll let me. Can I withdraw my dispute? I mean, it has no impact. They're not impacting my content money. They're not like, because I'm not monetizing it. I mean, I don't really have to. But I've shown you guys how it was made. I've shown you guys why this happens. So hopefully, like, to people, Morgan, to people who actually think this doesn't happen, it's right here, clear as day. I've shown it. You guys see it. I don't have to lie about this shit, all right? But this happens sometimes. It doesn't always happen. Usually I'm able to point to a live stream. These ones I did not make while live streaming. That's the main thing. That's the main key here. But I did want to show you guys that I did make it. And in this stream, we're hoping to effectively fix the problem by doing just some simple alterations to the sound. It's playing. That's why. And I'm using my TV as a monitor because my son threw a controller at my computer screen, so I don't have the ability to use my computer screen anymore. But I digress. We're going to try to fix it. All right. I mean, granted, these are all non-copyrightable, but we're just, actually, instead of this, what we're going to do is we're going to click this. We're going to delete it. We're going to say altered. Because honestly, it's not copyrightable to begin with, because it was a free pack. We want it to be still effectively the same song, but we want it to have more zoom, more boom, like more ba-ba, you know, more fun, I guess, whatever. Let me add something else to it, though. I do want to add something else to it. I want to add cowbell to it. I don't know why. It needs more cowbell. Let's see what we got here. Why can't I hear it? Oh, duh. Let's try that. I don't know if it's... be able to fix it this way. Should be distinctly different enough for it be non-copyrightable, because that one only used one Soundtrap. The part that's affected, the part that effectively is being used is the drum solo, and we've added bass to it to make it sound different. Let's see if that helps. Let's go ahead, run this. We're gonna let it mix, and then we're gonna play it later. But ultimately, the part that he used was literally just the one sound pack with some drum. And I don't even think he added anything to that. I don't think he even added anything to that. So effectively, he used the same exact sound pack that I use. So what I'm going to end up doing is deleting this version of the song for which there was a copyright. I mean, granted, I should see where the dispute goes first, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait to see where the dispute goes first. And if they're like, well, it's upheld, which it shouldn't be, because I explained to them the sound pack that he used. You know, it was provided to me through the studio that is getting all of these non-licensed packs, and they're putting them out. And what I pay for that studio, I pay for all of the allocation of all those in one piece. It's the same situation that you get for like a lot of these sound pack studios. They don't really have to. You can get these for free. Keep in mind, you can most likely get all of these things for free. But what these studios do is they get them for you and then put them all in one place. So you're paying for that allocation. And this guy clearly was using a free-to-use pack. I was using a free-to-use pack. The sound does match identically. The songs are completely different. His has lyrics. Mine does not. Mine has sound packs added into it that are not in any way used by him. I can almost guarantee. I will listen to his full song later, though, because of this copyright claim, which will give him some views, whatever. You know, let's help him out, I guess. Because, yeah, it does happen. And I don't even think it was the artist himself, more like DestroKid that was doing this. Comments are disabled so that he doesn't have to deal with the flag of these fuck-ups, which, in my opinion, is really bad. It's a bad look for DestroKid. Because, look, if your artist can't be informed and you're trying to avoid any kind of, like, comments about how your system is content IDing other users who don't use your content ID system and who don't pay for your system, if you're trying to, like, put people, like, out like that, right? And you're disabling comments to the original artist's page, what you're doing to them is a disservice. And what you're doing to the users that you're copyright claiming is a disservice too. You're also making it very hard for YouTube to gather any information to try and prevent an investigation as to whether or not the copyrighted music. Now, should he be able to claim rights to it? I'm sure he should. The lyrics for his music are his lyrics. He should be able to still monetize for it. However, his monetization should not infringe on the monetization of others because he used a free pack. That just shouldn't happen. And so, yeah, I don't know if anyone here watches other people's music. I'm pretty sure you guys do. You guys came here, so clearly you like music. And it's like, I don't make the best stuff, but what I do make, you know, I would like others to enjoy other music as well. So, like, go to his page. Give him some views. Not because I don't feel like I did him wrong. I think this is just a fuck up by AI at this point, and this is so frequent. It's so common that I've gotten used to it. It doesn't even really upset me, but it does kind of like agitate me that we don't have a system in place that can flag free use content like this, and like just basically bypass that. And I haven't had this issue with DestroKid in a while, and I'm going to claim responsibility for one fuck up in this, and that is not using multiple packs to put my music in and not being lazy that one time cost me. So for other people who end up doing that, who use these packs and who use these free packs, just know that adding one more to two more instruments to your intro can make all the difference to avoid copywriting, because these things do happen a lot. Hell, adding just more than one pack at a time, period, can help avoid copyright infringement issues like this one. And this is, like I said, this is probably not anyone's intentional doing. This is probably not anyone's real... There's no animosity here. He's not seizing views from me because I hardly get any. And he's not seizing subs from me because I don't have hardly any. Like, I have 100 subs, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay? That's not me showing disappreciation, but I have 1.9K in content on YouTube. And I have 162 subs. Come on, guys. If you guys listen to me, sub, please sub. It helps. It helps. And it'll motivate me to maybe one day monetize. And if I monetize, I can pay for things better. I can pay for more instruments. I can pay for like better hardware. It helps the creators when you give them the effectively the ability or the motivation to monetize. And right now with 162 subs, I don't feel like I'm going to make anything, so I don't even bother. It seems like I'm going to be costing more. It seems like it's going to cost me more than anything. And also, I would have to remove a whole lot of my catalog. But it'd be worth it if I was making, I don't know, at the very least, $1,000 a month, which is far less than successful YouTubers usually make. But, I mean, they also got bills to pay, you know? And I highly doubt I'll ever make that from YouTube alone. It will most likely be like, I'll make like 500 and I'll be like, oh, this little boost of income helped. I'll probably create merch and then sell merch. It's kind of like the way YouTubers do things these days. But yeah, go give him some views. The guy's making rap music, fuck it. Give him some views, you know? I'm probably going to check and see how this flag goes. I might delete my song after. Even if I win the flag, I'll just update you guys and let you guys know what happened. Because, like I said, it's a sound pack that he copyrighted. It's not exactly my song. And they want me to remove that part, but that part's freeware. It's fucking freeware. You know, like, he can't copyright it at all. Like, it doesn't have a license for it. But DestroKid's like, hey, you use this, and he used this. Yeah, copyright. That's what happens. AI does it all the time. AI doesn't know any better. And there's no systems in place to balance that. So if you want to avoid that, just from my own personal experience, I had been avoiding it, as you can see. I'll show you guys. I had been avoiding it for a long time. And the reason it happened is because I got lazy. Just this once, I got lazy, you know? And that's on me. That's on me for getting lazy. That's on me for getting lazy. Like, I can't even blame anyone besides myself. Because as you can see, most of the copyrighted stuff that I do, most of the stuff that gets copyrighted is just, like, trolls. This one, in this case, was actually legitimate, I think. I think this was legitimate, and not, like, not as in it should have happened, but as in, yes, the content did match the content copyrighted. However, the content in both scenarios is free. It's not licensed. So technically, it's a legitimate in terms of matching. It's illegitimate in terms of whether or not it can be copyrighted. You know? So it's weird. It's a weird fucking rocky road. I'm pretty sure the dispute's going to go through because it is GLL. It is GNL. licensed. It's not licensed to this guy. It's licensed to the studio that he's using, or not even licensed, period. And the studio is just giving him it to use. Chances are he's using the same studio I am. But yeah, as you can see, no copyright on this one, no copyrights on this one, no copyrights on this one, no copyrights on this one. And the reason is, and I can show you guys this, the reason is because when I start a song, typically, I try not to fall into the, when I start a song, like say Juni the Madness, the reason there's no copyright on it, I'll show you why. I'll show you why. It's because when I usually make a song, there's one time I got lazy. They got me. One time I got lazy. Don't get lazy. When I start a song, I typically don't start a song with one thing. Or at the very least, I put something else in there. And then I'm surprised no one else has used this as an intro. But no one uses. They all go. People don't think the way I do. I try not to go by the grain. A lot of people use song intros for intros. It's pretty easy. You can just throw it in there. It says it's an intro. Go ahead and use it as an intro. For me, I'm like, no, let's not do that. Let's like think outside the box. So a lot of my music is very fucking weird. I don't think anyone's gonna disagree with that. A lot of my music's hella weird. But like the reason is because people don't usually use an instrumental as an intro. Like they'll usually use, yeah, everything is an instrumental, but they don't use something that isn't labeled as intro. So typically, if I go into a studio, I try to avoid copyright problems by basically starting with something, making sure that somewhere along the beginning of that song, there's also another sound that is in there. Apparently, I've been doing it a lot. I've fallen in. No, because right here I started this. Yeah. Okay. So midway through the song, I made sure that it was altered. All right. Yeah. So I need to start working on that more. But yeah, usually if you put like something, and Timeless Renaissance Now should actually upload properly and not be copyright strike. Mainly because, let's export it real quick. Because I actually like this version of it better. I might actually delete it. So. The altered version, we're not going to have a copyright strike. And if we do, getting a copyright strike on this will be automatic, if at all. But here's the thing. Because that pack is an accumulation of instruments, it's also kind of harder to differentiate with other sounds, which is why we use two and not just one. And as you can see, his had, I think his had a hi-hat in it, whereas mine didn't. Mine had a different hi-hat than his did. So we're going to upload that to YouTube. Just go ahead and fucking upload it. Why not? So uploads it, goes straight to YouTube. I don't even edit my videos anymore. I just send them straight there. But yeah. And now it should be non-copyrighted. So we're going to go to content. We're going to refresh. This should change it enough to avoid any further problems with the content ID flagging system. And on occasion, if you want to do that, if you want to avoid problems like that, all you have to do is quite literally just add some stuff to that sound pack and alter the song a little bit. I mean, it's still the same song. I've just added a couple more instruments to it. It doesn't change the song that much, but it changes it enough so that the copyright doesn't exist. See, look. No copyright restrictions yet. Now, it's going to take about 15 to 16 minutes for copyright bots to scan everything. Chances are that if it scans this song now, it's going to be like, oh, well, we've already got a dispute on this. And apparently, this one has some things on it. Like the bass really sends a different vibe to a copyright streaming service. Or a streaming service, period. It'll send a different vibe to it. And the bass just adds a whole nother layer that it can't say, well, this is the same. So all you got to do to alter it enough for the copyright system not to acknowledge it is add more instruments to that intro, or don't use single sound packs at once. Try to... What? Who is copyrighting this one? Is it the same one? Wow. Wow. So yeah, it automatically copyrighted. What the fuck, dude? And you guys saw I just changed it. Yeah, this is on DestroKid. This is on DestroKid, straight up at this point. And yes, I will be disputing this one because I just live streamed. I just live streamed the differences we created for it. So we're literally gonna we're gonna like yeah. Let's go to my page real quick. Let's click on this. We're gonna share this stream. Because yeah, does not infringe the claimed copyright. Yeah, it doesn't. And it's because quite literally he's using the same content that I'm using. However, he doesn't have the license for that content to use it himself. Because it's free. It's free. Like it's public use. It's public domain. The copyright is null and void as the content being copyrighted is null and void and non-public domain. However, you'll notice that I just changed it live on stream, but because that overarching was loud enough and they still found it, the bot automatically copyrighted. There's no way a person did that in the time that I just showed it. Okay? But it's public domain content, and because two people are using it, the bot simply said, "Oh, it sounds like this. It's copyright." Bots don't know any better. So this item that he's using is general purpose, it's general use. I'm paying for allocation through Soundtrap. That's how I know. Okay? All the items that they have are made by people. However, this content was not made by him. It's a pack that he is borrowing, most likely via Soundtrap or other companies who have also gathered that same sound pack and that same loop. And I just showed you guys how it was created. I just showed you guys how I tried to avoid it. But because it still sounds similar, oddly enough, we just showed you that I added 2 more things to it to alter it. And it doesn't seem to affect, it doesn't seem to matter because the content ID system hears that one part. Which, okay. We're going to check that, sign my name, boom. Yep. Now it's not affected because they can't claim that it's absolutely copyrighted because apparently they don't know. And this one, oh, this one's doing different. This one's doing something different. Now his is different though. His song is different. His song there is different. It's clearly different there. Now they could try to copyright this very live stream, which I don't give a shit because this is educational. I'm not going to make any money off of this. I don't make any money off of any of my music, so they're not going to get any money from me for this. Even for copywriting this, you're not getting any money from me. The problem that I have, though, is we don't have a system in place that says, hey, this stuff is public access. There needs to be a central registry system where public use or public domain music is all listed. And then IDs, content bots like this go through that list and bypass anything that's on that list for copyright. For beginner musicians, I love the ability to have, I love the privilege we live in this day and age, where we have the ability to have free packs and we have the ability to have public use items like this in order to make our own iterations using that content. I love that ability, but I think that bots like this really do fuck up that ability, and at the same time, there's ways we could fix that, and I really think we need to work on that. So we disputed the action. We disputed both of these. They're going to be disputed. We're going to see what they say. I just showed you guys, hands down, the differences between the 2 songs. Just exactly, like, I don't know what his studio data is, so I can't claim to know his studio data. But from my end, what I've done to try to avoid it, and it still keeps coming up, I've shown you guys both this version and the non-altered version. So yeah, this version we added 2 things in this specific live stream. We added 2 things. I will be doing a music live stream later on, so that you guys can see what's going on. But yeah, he used this content right here. That's what he used, and it is literally under protection of, like, this is the content he used. If I go to here and I press play, we gotta turn the volume up. Hold on. This is the content he used. This is what it's flagging. This is a part of a content pack that I subscribe to get. That content pack, I pay for the rights to obtain use of it through this studio. But that content pack in itself most likely does not have rights, as it is public domain. All of these items are public domain. And the piece that he's using, and this is the solo part of it, we're not playing any of this other stuff. The piece that he's using is Marcy Songstarter BBM. So we're going to look at Marcy Songstarter. Oh, that's strings, my bad. Okay, so I mean, you guys guys can copyright that all day long, DestroKid. We can go into this all day long, but we both know what's going on here. Come on. Make it right. And other users, try to not do what I've been doing, apparently. I've fallen into that slipstream. We're going to change it, though. I'm going to start doing what I used to do to try to avoid copyright content flagging, but we'll see if that works. But ultimately, what I did to change it live on air was I added 3 more instrumental packs that I know he probably didn't add, which changes it to this. Totally different sound to what he was using. I mean, not totally different. It does still have this pack, but this pack in itself cannot be copyrighted at all. There's your evidence. There's what you need to know. Future users of Soundtrap, just know that this music is the sound packs that you're using and the loop packs that you're using for Soundtrap. These are basically freeware. But Content ID systems, because they're freeware, a lot of people are going to use them. And copyright ID systems, like DestroKid, will come at you from time to time because it's a bot. It doesn't know any better. And hopefully these disputes go to an actual person who actually gets the evidence for the selected alterations, the selected actions. This time it tried to copyright a different part of the song, which I don't understand because I didn't even go that far into his song to know what he's using. On here, on stream, I didn't even know it. You saw it. But I did look for his item to see the contrast. And yeah, he was using that one sound pack, and that's what got it. But that one sound pack is public domain, so good luck. I'm pretty sure, like I said, these copyrights will be. I've already made disputes like this in the past. They've always come out clean in the long run, but it does show that I need to do that more often. I need to start doing more of that. And I had been doing it, but I've been off my game for a little bit. So, and I've been off my ability to make music for a while, for a month, and I forgot about it. And I didn't think of it. I slipped up. I slipped up one time and only used one sound pack, and it didn't differentiate enough. This one should have done it. This one should have differentiated because it's a totally different sound now than the version that got copyrighted. But because it's still using the same pack, and that same pack, I'm sorry, but he doesn't own the license for that pack. Your client does not own the license for that pack. So because he does not own the license for that pack, you guys can't copyright it. So, have a good one. That's this stream. That's my little rant over. It's been far too long as it is. Thank you guys for watching.